Bled is a film that is something of an enigma to me, how it even ever got made, let alone ended up being distributed by Lionsgate, of all companies. Bled markets itself as being from one of the executive producers of the Texas Chainsaw Massacre. I am not sure who that producer is. He might be on the back here. As you can see, Lionsgate's logo is right there, but they did not make this film. They distributed it. Released in 2009, filmed over 2008, 2007, and probably released by these two companies right here. Fat Kid Films and Indie Entertainment present Bled. So there you go. Those are your culprits. Those two right there. Indie Entertainment. And then it gets picked up by Lionsgate. Let's try to say one nice thing about this film. And the one nice thing I'm going to say is that I kind of like the effects on a couple of the creatures. There's some decent practical effects and some okay makeup. That might be the only nice thing I have to say. Other than that, this is one of the most drollish, most boring, most dreary slogs of a film I have ever watched. I could forgive films like Righteous Villains and Blue Call and Day of the Living Dead. I can forgive those films because they were truly indie in all senses of the word. After all, neither of them had the Lionsgate backing. When you pick up a film thinking it's Lionsgate, you think it might be not super duper duper indie, but I guess I got fooled. Don't let the cover fool you. This isn't just some cheesy, entertaining Lionsgate vampire film a la Underworld types of entertainment, a la Daybreakers and all sorts of other types of films like that. No, Bled is a film about a creepy man named Renfield giving some drugs to some art students, college kids. The art student does the substance and ends up tripping to a forest where she is encountering such a creature. This creature bites her or whatever, and she wakes up with gray skin. Now, she's one of the creatures, but in the living realm of realmingness. So she convinces her other art student friends who live in this flat that she's in to partake in this drug. One of the students partakes right away, and he becomes enamored of the blonde. There's 4 art students here. You have the vampire lady, you have the creepy dude, you have the blonde, and then you have Royce. How do I know Royce's name when I don't know anybody else's name? I think it's because Royce makes sure you know that his name is Royce. He bangs on everybody's door every 5 minutes saying, blah blah blah, it's Royce. Blah blah blah, it's Royce. He just keeps repeating his name to everybody. So, out of everybody outside of Renfield, who also makes sure you know his name is Renfield, at least at the start of the film. And it's Renfield. It's a name, Renfield. It's a memorable name, you know. At least it's harkening back to Dracula. I'm not sure if that's a good thing or a bad thing, but whatever. So the blonde gets attacked by the creepy dude when he's drug tripping out. And then Royce saves the day, and then the vampire lady seduces Royce. Then Royce goes out to do something, and Renfield comes in to convince the vampire lady to attack Blondie, and so she dies, and then they make other vampire ladies. The creepy dude brings ladies home, and they become vampire ladies or something. And then Royce comes home and he sees all the vampire ladies, and he says, "Stop being vampire ladies." And so the vampire lady, the main vampire lady, says to the other vampire ladies to stop being vampire ladies, and they all die. And then the vampire lady partakes in the drug that makes you vampire people, and she goes back to the forest in the drug trip world. And Royce is like, I gotta go save the friend, the vampire lady, because he loves her. So he partakes in the drug, and he goes to the forest drug trip land to find the vampire lady. And the creepy creature that's in the forest in the drug trip world comes into the main world and attacks the creepy dude and Renfield. Renfield and the creepy dude team up because they realize that this creature from the drug trip world, that this creature's blood can make you immortal. So Renfield extracts some blood from the creature from the drug trip world, and then Royce in the drug trip world kills the vampire lady after he says that he loves her. And then Royce wakes up from the drug trip world, and the creature from the drug trip world vanishes after Royce wakes up. But Renfield succeeds in taking some blood from the creature, which is what he wanted all along. He wanted to summon the creature from the drug trip world into the real world so that he could extract its blood, because the creature from the drug trip world can make you immortal. And so Renfield and the creepy dude take the creature from the drug trip world's blood into themselves. Renfield becomes young again, because his oldness was makeup, so they just wiped away the makeup, and now you're young again. So Renfield and the creepy dude, they go off to do their own adventures, and Royce hears the echoing words of the vampire lady that he killed in the drug trip world. So he goes back to the drug trip world to find the vampire lady that he killed in the drug trip world, because she might be alive, maybe. And then it's over. Thankfully, blessedly, thankfully, it's over. The best part of this film, it's only 90 minutes long. Oh, thank you. It could have been 70. I would have been happier. There's nothing of merit in this film. Everything that I've told you is everything that you're going to find in the film. You don't need to watch it, but outside of being morbidly curious enough to watch it. Because outside of the 5 to 6 minutes I spent discussing the plot, everything else is fluff. You only really need about 7 minutes to explain this story, and everything else is just fluff. Everybody's speaking words to each other, and you might be able to understand what those words are if you pay attention, but these words have no substance. They're just there to fill up the plot time, the run time. So they talk to each other, and they say words to each other. The Renfield is a creepy man, the creepy dude is a creepy man, the blondie is just there to resist the vampire lady and the creepy dude. Renfield is just there to introduce the drug and be creepy, and then Royce is just the nice guy. Royce is the good guy. He becomes the hero man, and then the story's over. Bled has got to be one of the most disappointing films I have ever seen. I was expecting low budget from Day of the Living Dead. I was expecting low budget from Blue Call, from Righteous Villains. I was expecting something of that type of quality when I watched those films. I went in with those types of low expectations. I went into Bled with the expectations of, I didn't exactly have high expectations, I was expecting something to be better or as good as the Underworld films, but I was at least expecting something to be on that level, somewhere below Underworld, but on that level, because, it's coming from Lionsgate, it's coming from something with the level of notorietized mid-tier budget films that are at least decent enough to watch. But they were just the production, the distribution, they were just the distributor. This was a fat kid indie entertainment film. I don't mean fat kids, it says it right here, fat kid. Okay, I'm not trying to be mean or something. It says Fat Kid Films. Fat Kid Films made this movie. So, yeah. It's It's a movie.